This matter has been reported by our lawyers who at 2016 and investigated.
Let me tell you why you could not report. Because you knew you were conned. And this is not the first time you were conned.
Equity CEO Dr. James Mwangi, the same man who built an empire from microfinance, has just been ordered to pack and leave his multi-million Muthaiga mansion. And guess this, he's walking out with a cool 10 million fine for trespassing. Let's get into this high-stakes Muthaiga land tussle. Justice Oscar Angote of the Environment and Land Court didn't miss his words. He declared that businessman Anberali Amershi Kamali, through his firm, Mount Pleasant Limited, is the rightful owner of the 3-acre property worth a jaw-dropping $1 billion that Mwangi claimed he bought from retired President Daniel Arap Moi back in 2013. Yep, imagine thinking you're buying from Moi only for the court to tell you, boss, that land isn't yours.
By the time you're going to see the president, and you have indicated here, the first thing was to thank him for that Gertrude property.
Both, my lord.
Was to thank him for both?
Yes, my lord. It was one meeting for both.
Nonetheless, there were two properties that you were thanking the president for.
Yes, my lord.
To understand this chaos, we've got to rewind almost 2 decades. Mount Pleasant Limited says they bought the same land back in 2006 from former Finance Minister Arthur Magugu and his wife Margaret Wairimo for 130 million Kenya shillings. That's a full 7 years before Mwangi says he bought it from Moi. Before that, Magugu had even used the land as collateral for a loan at National Bank in the 1980s through MDC Holdings Limited. When the loan went sour, the bank moved in to recover its money, selling the property in 2002 for 90 million Kenya shillings. Karmali says he bought it fair and square, but that's when the mystery and drama began. Karmali claims that soon after he bought the land registry files disappeared like magic. When he went to do search at Ardhi House, the file mysteriously vanished. He Kenya, ni movie by the way. He says after that, someone tampered with the registry and suddenly a new title appeared under Mwangi's name. Even more shocking, both parties somehow ended up with valid certificates from the land office showing they were the legal owners. Yes, same land, 2 owners, 2 titles. You can't make this up, and by the way, it's very common in our country. Fast forward to June 2020, things got physical. Mwangi reportedly showed up at the property with police officers, kicked out Karmali guards, and replaced them with his own. Mount Pleasant wasn't having it. They rushed to court, demanding their land back. Imagine being a billionaire and still needing police to help you move in. Who really owns this land?
You not see there are people inside?
There are no people inside.
There are no people inside?
Yes, to the best of my knowledge.
There are no machinery is inside there, Dr. Mwangi?
There is no people who are working on that land. It's in bush.
There are people inside. You know if it's your property, they are trespassing in my property.
This matter has been reported by our lawyers who at 2016 and investigated.
Let me tell you why you could not report. Because you knew you were conned. And this is not the first time you were conned. There is a property.
Justice Angote said the DCI hadn't made any conclusive findings on alleged forgeries, but the documents themselves had major red flags. He stopped short of calling it outright fraud, but said the inconsistencies were too serious to ignore. That's why he cancelled Mwangi's title and awarded 10 million in damages for trespass. Back in 2022, after being evicted from his land, Karmali wrote to then Interior CS Kithure Kindiki, claiming that his life was in danger, allegedly. The court gave Mwangi and his wife, Jane Wangoi Mundia, just 30 days to vacate. If they don't, police from Gigiri and Muthaiga stations will be on standby, ready to escort them out. And to make matters worse, the judge ordered the chief land registrar to cancel all entries, conveyances, and titles linked to Mwangi's ownership. Basically, everything tied to his claim was erased from the books. And also on top of that, he's going to pay 10 million Kenya shillings for damages. Also, part of the reason why this was thrown out by the court is that he claimed to have bought the piece of land from former President Daniel Arap Moi, but he had no evidence to back this up.
The former president, the position of the former president in this court is that he never dealt or sold this parcel of himself. And that's why it is important, even for you as a party, to understand why that position may be true, if at all it is true. And that's why I'm asking you, listen, that's why
The judge even highlighted anomalies in how the property was amalgamated. That's when smaller parcels were merged into one larger title, calling the whole process procedurally flawed and irregular. For Dr. Mwangi, who's been celebrated as the face of African entrepreneurship, this is an embarrassing setback. The same man, praised for ethical leadership and financial prudence, now has to explain how he ended up occupying another man's land. This case has once again exposed the messy underbelly of Kenya's land system, where files vanish, officials lose records, and duplicate titles appear from nowhere. It's the same old story, just with bigger names and pricier land. So, as the 30-day eviction countdown begins, Kenyans are watching closely. Will Mwangi quietly pack up or fight back with an appeal? Either way, the damage to his image is done. The court record now reads loud and clear: trespass, title cancelled, 10 million penalty, and it's a brutal reminder that in Kenya, no one, not even banking royalty, is above the law. If you enjoyed this breakdown, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to BNN, and hit the bell icon for more breaking exclusive. Follow us on Telegram at BNN Basic. Also, if you'd like to advertise with us, reach out at BNN MarketBot. Catch you next time.